Good evening, everybody. My name is Zan Louis from the Zan Nation podcast. I'm here with my guys. This is Talk with the Guys. I'm here with
Alex Sabansky,
Wayne Patterson, Wayne Sosa, Bruce, aka the strongest Avenger.
always gotta do the most.
And ZJ, Zach Jackson.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
man,
like
the only
that.
one who doesn't have a fucking nickname.
I'm sorry.
Well, someone called you Alex the Terrifier
We can always rerun the
because you remind us of Alex the Terrible.
Yeah, from Slav Prevail.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. I mean, right now we're having a late night talk with the guys, and right now the topic of conversation, no matter what you're doing, is health. It's like, what is health to you? And being being healthy is a superpower. So he just mentioned he's like an Avenger. I love Superman. He looks like Homelander. Zach looks like Spider-Man. So you just remind from Spider Universe. You're one of the Spider-Mans from whatever universe that might be.
One of the Spider-Mans from the universe?
Yeah.
Like almost like traveling different dimensions. There's a bunch of different Spider-Mans have different personalities.
And they all have
different ulterior motives.
Yeah, that's true. Are you an evil Spider-Man? Are you like a...
I don't know, I'm somewhere in the multiverse figuring my shit out.
Okay.
Jumping around.
Yeah, slingshotting,
I don't got no webs, but shit, I make it.
How do you not have any webs?
Spider-Man, no webs? Oh my goodness.
Damn, I guess
Hey,
you're
I
really
didn't
wrong.
take-
Damn, you're really
Oh,
wrong with
yeah.
making a big claim like that.
You're Ant-Man.
Hey, I'll take
Wait, there's
One
an
thing he's
Ant-
missing
wait,
is
there's
a
an
fucking snout, right?
There's
Yeah.
an Ant-Man and a Spider-Man.
No, we actually,
We put them
I guess we
together.
just made up a new one. We gotta go pitch out to Marvel.
Yeah.
Where's that DC?
Oh, talk to me.
Green Lantern, man. That
Come
was
on,
Green
you know I
Lantern
don't
for
watch it.
Halloween.
Oh
You
my
wanna be Green
goodness.
Lantern? There's only
I
one.
want to cut it. No.
There's only one Superman I look up to, and that's Wayne Papito Sosa. The last
He
Avenger.
is the Black Superman. Yo, if the shirt comes off, it's like...
He's not Superman. He's stronger than Superman.
He's stronger than Superman.
Bigger than the
Gentleman,
Bigger than-
He's his own. He's his
Yeah.
own.
Yeah.
Gentleman.
Yeah, okay.
What's that one red guy with the red and black? Oh, Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Yeah, yeah.
Deadpool.
So you're like a Deadpool, Hulk, and a Superman.
I like this. Thank you.
I like
Spider-Man.
that too. I like that too.
A lot of things I have to attribute, come
Yeah.
to the gentlemen around me. So I would like to appreciate them very much for the gratitude.
Damn, actually
Thank
think about it
you.
too. Wait,
Thank you.
actually with the mixture of Batman too, because you got the fucking big wide pocket too. So goddamn, you
Oh,
got the four. You got the four.
Well,
But really, the biggest portion of it is the wealth, which is the subject we're about to go talk about. So
Coming back to that, why is being healthy a superpower? And for me, being healthy is a superpower because I believe when you're at your healthiest, you can do everything, but there is a consequence if you overdo it and you tip the balance of the scale. You have to do it all in moderation. This is anything, whatever it is. And when you're healthy, you can always go off, but then you can always come back. You can always go off the deep end or lose your mind a little bit, but then you always can come back. And I believe that guy was talking to you about this, and you too, about this in the car, about like when it comes down to addictions. When you're healthy, it becomes more of a choice. The addiction doesn't have hold over you. It becomes more of a choice where you're just like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to come right back. That's down to anything, whatever it is. It could be substance, it could be herbs, it could be whatever it is. When you're healthy, it is a superpower to be able to do anything you want to do. For example, I broke my leg, and I'm not in a sense where it broke. The bone didn't break, but because I have trained my body I put my body to the test that the bone was able to hold, but I had microfibers here to torn the ACL, MCL, PCL, and everyone was telling me like, you got to go get surgery, and I was like, nah, I like, is there another way to do this? And they're like, okay, you could heal it naturally, but no one does that. Like that's weird. I'm like, okay, so let's just see what else my body could do, and let's see. Almost 2 years later, and we're now going to December. December is going to make it 2 years, and I can sprint again, I can run again, and there was something you were watching on Snap. You were watching this thing about some guy.
Kingdom. Yes. The man had his legs frozen, right? Overseas. And the doctors told him they had to be amputated. But he decided to try to walk on them until the blood flow returned to the leg. And ultimately, the blood flow did return. 12 years later, the man would go on and be an Olympic gold medalist. So...
true story.
And
True story.
he kept walking. He said he's not going to do the amputation. He's going to keep walking until blood comes back. He did. Blood came back into his leg. He just kept walking, went back to playing tennis, and then fucking.
Well, actually, that's a great point to go and start everything off, because when you're talking about your story right here in the beginning, you know, it's like apples or oranges. Not everyone's going to agree with exactly what you say. And you and me are best friends, and we live together. We're roommates. We hang out every day, and we don't agree with everything. And like what you were saying in the beginning, I don't agree with everything they said, but what we can agree on is the power of the mind. If you tell yourself you're going to do something, and you stay consistent, and you stay determined, and you can keep that belief, and you're strong in your heart, you can go and do it. And that's exactly what happened to you. You know, you went and did something that all the doctors said would never go and happen, and you did it. Story you just went and said.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for 12 years, like, think about the strength of your mind. Like, everyone against you. You're the only person who believes that you can go and do it yourself. Probably everyone was against him. His family, his wife, his kids, even if he had a kids and a wife. But the determination of the mind is what the subject is we're talking about. Health is really going to be your wealth, because when you go and stay dedicated and disciplined to doing what you tell yourself to do, what you know is right, even though in the society we live in, where we're kind of convinced to do wrong, to go out with your friends, drink, do drugs, stay up all night, eat shit to cure a hangover and whatever. But you go and stay disciplined by getting your rest, eating healthy, eating clean, going to the gym, staying scheduled, staying devoted and disciplined. That is a superpower itself, because what can ever tell you no when you put your mind to something?
Mm-hmm. So the superpower, what I'm hearing right now, is the mind.
That is a superpower.
The mind over matter. The mind over the matter. This vessel is the matter, but the mind is where everything projects. The mind is where everything starts. You know, so it's like the superpower. Keep the mind healthy, and then everything else is gonna like follow, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of cool. Okay, what's your take on like why being healthy is a superpower?
To tailgate a lot of what both of you gentlemen said,
Yeah.
the mind is, the greatest power that we have, not only as a group but as individuals. And it is important to understand that the decisions that we make, not only as individuals, affect everyone around us, and that's going to come down to the choices we make each and every day. As a coach now for the past 7 years, a personal trainer, these are things I ultimately preach to my players, to the people I train, and ultimately just the people around me. All right. And the people around me at this point, after 27 years, I don't really, consider anybody friends anymore. I consider my circle of family, gentlemen. So I thank you. And it's going to come down to a lot of different aspects. All right. It's going to be the choices you make and the decisions that they come down to. And when you look back on a lot of different things at life, you don't want to look back and wish you did anything differently. Because a lot of times, I like a lot of people ask me different questions, because I get a lot of different questions every day, on my Instagram, on my TikTok. Okay.
Number one.
Follow me. I hit those. I'm like the strongest Avenger. The term of gamma radiation is superpower. Okay. I tend to sometimes get compared to the Hulk. All right. So people say, what's the gamma radiation? Where does it come from? All right. A lot of it is the mind. Okay.
You text me gamma radiation.
Yes.
Shout out your IG.
Shout out the IG. I hit those _8. All right. Make sure you hop on board.
Yeah.
The mind. All right. It comes down to a lot of different aspects. When I wake up every day, people don't understand the rigorous schedules, that come to play when it comes down to it. I'm up every day, probably about 5:30, 5:45. I'm in the gym, 6:15. Have my first boxing session. I'm in there for about a good hour. I'll take a rest break, have a good meal in between. You got to make sure you're loading up on calories. It's bulk season. Bulk season.
Bulk season.
Bulk season.
Nah, that's only you. That's only you. We're bulking.
Season.
No one else is watching. Actually, a couple of them, but no one. Actually, probably no one could go compare that.
No, stop it, gentlemen. I appreciate it. So I'll rest for about a good 20 minutes, and then I'll go into my second session where I'll go hit some cardio and then some lightweight. And I'll go home, work on some content, cuddle with my cat, Jade, of course.
I love cats.
Yes. Can you believe my baby just turned 5 the other day?
Oh,
We know Coach Wayne loves the Libras now.
Yo, can we get a cat? We
were talking about it. We were talking about that. I'm open to it.
So after I'm done cuddling with Jade and I get a couple more calories, I'll go in for my second workout where I do my progressive overload, all right? Because it's bulk season. So it's important to understand during this time of year, you want to make sure you're training the right way. So many times people, get caught up in social media propaganda, following this person, that person. It's really important to understand the quality that's coming behind the content. All right. And if there's one thing about me, I make sure everything I do is quality, whether it's coaching, whether it's my content, whether it's the words I'm speaking to you right now, gentlemen. All right. And everybody out there. Remember, follow I hit those _8 on Instagram.
No one's gonna forget that now.
Yes, absolutely.
No one's gonna forget that
Yes,
now.
yes. I'll go hit my progressive overload. My lift, my second lift is 9 times out of 10 gonna be my heaviest lift of the day. I'll lift probably about 2 to 3 hours. After I'm done breaking my body, I'll go to work. Where you guys know I'm a basketball coach at Triple Threat, located in Dover, New Jersey. Yeah.
When do you do your second lift?
My second lift is approximately about from 1 to 2 p.m. and I'll be at work at 4:30. Yeah, no, 5. Yeah. 1. I'll get to the gym at 1, lift that lift to about 4, then go to work immediately. Yes.
Wow, so you do 2 workouts before you even get to work.
Yes.
That's dedication.
And if you people know Coach Wayne, you know I'm not going to leave anything to hang when I'm out there with my kids. So, after I'm done coaching for the 5.5 hours like a madman, schooling my young pupils to be the great ones they are to be. Shout out to all my players at Triple Threat. It's been a pleasure coaching you thus far. Coach Wayne is here to stay. I'll go into my third lift of the day, which honestly comes down to a lot of deload. Right now it's bulk season, so I'm in a progressive overload. So I'm not going to lift as heavy as I did in my second session. I'll be around the 70 to 80 percentile. A lot of people are going to listen to this and look at me like I'm crazy. Like, don't listen to him, how this guy's working out. But ultimately, it's important to understand everybody's different. So that's why you want to make sure before you go into different things like taking performance enhancing drugs, gear, tests, whatever it may be, you're really have to understand that, just because you see Larry Wheels maxing out lifting 600 pounds doesn't mean you're going to be on the same cycle for a month and you're going to achieve the same results. So make sure you're understanding your body as a tone to the next person.
And when you say understanding your body, it's also like coming down to like listening to your body too. Like listen, there's a friend of mine who was talking about how he okay, thank you.
Oh my god, I spilled the water. I'm sorry. I spilled it on the hose.
There's a friend of mine who was talking about how there's times where he knows he's tired. He knows he should stay his ass home. But then he's like, but then I find myself out at the club and just going crazy. And then like he wasn't feeling well. He wasn't feeling well. The other day he called me. He's like, I'm not feeling well. Like something's going on. Like my heart's skipping a beat and all this other stuff. But I was like, so he walked. And so sometimes even when you're tired, it's like your brain is lacking oxygen. So when you're like falling asleep, you get up and you walk and you feel much better. So for him, he was walking around, he felt better, and I was like, hey, listen, just moving forward, start listening to your body. If you feel like you need to rest, we're the only human species, that fights our sleep. I mean, dogs, they tired, they're going to go to sleep. I mean, they're going to work themselves until it's time for them to go to sleep. We're the only species that will literally fight our sleeps, and then we take other shit to keep us awake. So it's like, yo, like listen to your body, because that's exactly what you said. It's like you understanding your body is another thing, but also listening to yourself. I mean, listening to going back to like 2020. How many of us did we all get vaccines?
No.
Coach Wayne got vaccinated. I had to get vaccinated.
You had to get vaccinated.
Yes, I got vaccinated twice.
But listening to your body, if you had the choice, would you have done it?
Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I would love to go and piggyback off of that, because you're talking about how the animals and how we're the only animals on planet Earth that go and fight sleep.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing of what I do with obviously fitness and life, I mean, I've had a crazy year, so I haven't really been as disciplined as I usually have been, and as I usually made myself to be for the past years prior, is always follow what the animals do. It's because if you go and look at History Channel, Discovery Channel, Animal Planet, you always know and you always hear every person that is on the channel giving the reviews of whatever the ecosystem, the food chain, whatever environment they're in. They always tell that the animal can go and sense weakness, but it's not the weakness part. You will always see the animal, or like the biggest one on top of the food chain, always resting, always chilling, and just waiting. They never go and get bothered, and we're on the top of the food chain, so we shouldn't really be bothered. But actually, this just came in my mind too. In addition, we're Americans, and most of the people that may listen to this are Americans. We're the only people in the country, or the only country that in the whole world that really goes and just goes. Like look at Duncan's logo. America runs on coffee for a reason. Why? Because we're like go. But you go to Europe, they go and enjoy their morning. They go and wake up with the sun, get their circadian rhythm in, enjoy their morning with their wives, their kids, go and enjoy the sun, enjoy a cup of coffee, their breakfast, whatever. Go to work, enjoy like a 2-hour lunch with their family, friends, whoever. And then they enjoy the rest of the day with whatever work they have to go and do and whatnot. They never rush and never stressing. And that's what animals normally do.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you go and look at it, like he says he has a cat, and you say you want to get a cat too.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever owned a cat, you'll go and always see whatever the cat's sleeping and resting. They'll go like where the peak of the window is, where the sun's raising through the blinds, and they're just in that ray of sunshine. And then they'll keep waking up and keep moving as the sunlight goes down. And then that's what all animals should be doing, going along with sunlight. But that kind of went off a little tier of what I was actually trying to get at. But just going how animals work and operate, that's how we should be going and operating with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like us, we're up here a little late at night to go and try to get something started.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing wrong with that. When you're starting something, you have to go and work harder than the others. You have to go and play catch up.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go and really chase. But eventually things, start smoothing out if you actually are good and successful and whatever. So you have to always make sacrifices. But nevertheless, a lot of people, they're just chasing the corporate ladder. They're just going and chasing the paycheck. They're just like, okay, if I get more, then I'll have like a better life.
Mm-hmm.
But usually what happens is when they get more and they get that bigger thing, they spend more, they lose more, they go and, they go and get rid of it more.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of never equivalates properly.
Yeah.
So the proper way is to go and get more so you can go and put the money or whatever away accordingly so you could go and make more money while you're sleeping. But anyway, going back to it, listening to the body, going and being healthy is always just working with the sun, working with the system, working with the animals, working how the earth was operated. Like this is the first time in thousands of years of animals being alive that within the last 100 years we're not doing what human nature was supposed to do. So look at all the diseases that got popped up. Look at the rates of cancer. Look at the rates of cardiovascular systems, cardiovascular system diseases. I mean, like any heart attack is the number one death in America, and that's only been in America number one always, and then also within the past 100 years. So there's a reason for it. Just overly working, and we're just, pinned in this area and in this corner where we can't really avoid it, but we can try to avoid it by living below our means. But I mean, I feel like we're all definitely getting a little off tangent of the subject, but I'm enjoying the subject, so I don't mind at all.
I think you're on.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I'm sorry that I'm the tailgate up on
Please.
Everybody loves to chant when they're on top, so I want to give credit to my brother over here to the right, because it takes a true man to admit when, they may not have been living up to the standard that they have set for themselves, all right? And, the man has set a very high standard. And ultimately, as I talk about the rigorous schedule, the disciplined schedule I'm on, a lot of it has to do with the testimony to the work I put in with him. People got to remember the rigorous work we were putting in all these days, all these weeks, all these months when he was training me as I was on my martial arts journey. All right. So it's important to understand there's something to take from everybody, and nobody in the history of life has been able to do it by themselves. So make sure you're gravitating to the people around you that really matter, whether it's your close ones, your relatives, your family. It's important to keep a strong circle in this life. People understand that.
The hardest thing is to find that circle, though.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing, especially nowadays. So many sheeps in the wolf skin right now. It's hard to find that, and that's why I'm very blessed to have you guys as my best friends. And I'm like, no.
Are we going to hug right now? Like,
well, I want to go off of that too. Just like
we haven't asked you though. Like, I want to know what is your
ZJ talk to us. ZJ talk to us. He's camera shy. Talk to us.
There's a lot.
No, we're over talking. Please.
Why is being healthy a superpower to you?
Well, I have a lot of comments and side notes on what was all this being said.
That
was a lot of great points.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, it does go back to the mind. I feel like, your perception does create your reality. I'm a big believer in that. And I feel like
mine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I feel like awareness is like that devil on your shoulder that will wake you up to the other side. Nothing, it's not all sunshine and rainbows for anybody, but that devil on your shoulder is awareness, because once you become aware, you have the option to change, whatever you want to change, for good or for bad, that's just in your heart. And I feel like that instincts thing that you were going back to that with the animals, I feel like there's like a sense of consciousness that we have with each other as human beings that's very unique, and no other animal can compare to our consciousness. So the hard part about it is having that balance to be able to be like, I can focus up on something and put my head down and do this because I know it's going to be good for me. I know this is something good. And when you do that, it's a great feeling. It's a great reward of knowing that you're contributing to your health, because like we said, that's wealth. And I don't know, some people out here, they got it fucked up. They look at it as you were saying, trying to climb that ladder in society, trying to get that money back. That's some people's gods. And I feel like, going back to what Alex said, when you put that instinct to the right work, and Wayne's a good example of that, doing that day to day, waking up, going to work out 2 times before you go to work. That's some shit, man. Like, I don't do that. And that sounds great. I know it would benefit me. And I'm like still sitting here like, shit, maybe I'll do that. But change is what needs to happen. And I feel like contributing to your wealth is not easy. Your health is your wealth. And I feel like, that's a journey that everyone has to take. And it's not an easy one. I can say for myself, I have a lot of things I wanted to change over the years that I haven't scratched the surface on some of them, but consistency really is key. Discipline, consistency. And I've noticed, like, when I do go on a good tangent, I end up being like, oh, I'm satisfied. I convince myself I'm satisfied with where I'm at, and I don't want more, which is crazy because if it's my wealth, my health, I should want more. And that self-reflection is key, because now it bothers me. And I feel like, everybody should be able to look at themselves in the mirror and have that conversation with yourself, because that's important. You may not like it. The truth hurts, but sometimes maybe the truth is good, but the truth is just the truth. It's no good or bad. It's about perception. And I feel like perception, a lot of people's perception nowadays is messed up, man. It's not cool. And that's why I got a good group of guys next to me. And talks like this have happened off camera so many times, man. So, like, it's good to actually sit down and, like, give some feedback to other people. Take what you will. Take what you don't.
I want to say though that is still a part of being healthy as a power, because that is the power of the mind, the perception. Because this one thing where you have society expectations from society, expectations from your family, expectations from work, expectations from different other perspectives, and sometimes you forget that you have your own. It actually starts with your own.
Yeah.
So to have that perception, to be like, okay, I'm gonna see it this way, whatever, it does start there, and it can be positive. It can also be negative too. But the whole thing about the whole negative is that it serves a purpose.
Yeah.
You use that negative to transform it into positive, and then balance the scale out. Like, it's like you just balance it out, So I love that you're like, hey, this is a change. This is a thing. It's being aware, and then recognizing it. That is a state of healthiness to start, and then to continue it there. You're right where you're supposed to be in this moment right now. This is what's supposed to be happening.
I love that you said that, because I was going to piggyback off of him, and then you went into more depth about the negative. I disagree with that, because it's not where you're supposed to be. Because if you think about it, if you told yourself a year ago you're going to go and do this, and you made a schedule and you were excited for it, and then you were doing it, you fell off, and then you half-assed it, and then eventually went to fucking dust. That's not where you're supposed to be, because what if you stayed with that? You would not be where you're supposed to be. You wouldn't say that, because where would you be if you stuck with that? You don't know, because if you stuck with it, obviously it wouldn't be low. It wouldn't be lower. It wouldn't be just stagnant. You would be you're where you're supposed to be, if you want to put in that context, because you failed yourself, and then you lied to yourself, and you didn't do what you told yourself you're going to go and do. But on the contrary, now knowing that and seeing that, you can go and do that and bring it back into your life and actually become someone and become who the fuck you want to be by doing the things you told yourself you're going to do. So you are where you're supposed to be, because you lied to yourself, you failed yourself, you didn't stick with it. And guess what? I did the same thing this year, because there was so many times, and me and Wayne have been friends for over a decade. He's seen all my ups. He's seen a bunch of my downs. Zach has been my friend for over 8 years. He's seen all that too. But if you would, so like, yeah, I'm where I'm supposed to be because I did what I was supposed to do, and also I failed myself. I lied to myself. But damn, I mean, like, yes, negatives are great because it shouldn't go and be like, oh yeah, like I went and said I was gonna do this. Oh no, it's too hard for me or whatever. No, it makes me angry. So I'm like, no, let me go and actually make it up. Let me go and do it. But what always goes and kicks my ass and makes me really irk myself at night is like, damn, what if I stuck with that for that 2 months? How much further I'll be. Now I'm playing catch up. But the thing is, that Alex who was doing it, he would get more traction. He would get more drive. I can't ever catch up to Alex ever again. And I have to go and live and die with that, knowing that I'll never catch up to Alex because I failed myself that one time. I told myself I wasn't going to go and fail. And I told myself that's what I had to go and do. I lost it. I didn't go and follow up with that. Now I have to live that with that regret for the rest of my life, knowing I can never catch up with Alex because I know when I got the wheels going, there's nothing stopping me. So, we all have regrets. We all have those issues, but that's just how I look at it. But the negative part, which is the only positive in it, is that you can still start again, but you have to start before it's too late because there always is a part in every person's life where it is too late.
Yeah. I see what you're saying too. I think the beautiness in that is that you're never gonna be this one thing at one point. Because here's the thing: there was a point in my time in my life where I was at my Hulk mode, super healthiest. And I was in balance in other parts of my life where I didn't see it because there was like a state of illusion that was created where I didn't know how to be a real person. I was always the Zahn, the instructor, the positive guy, the one who's just always smile.
You felt like you were playing a role?
And I was playing a big role. And people always be like, why is he always smiling? He's always so happy. Like, this guy's weird. Like, he's always so happy. And I'm like, oh yeah. And I used to just smile at my own problems, like just smile until when I was like, I had to come to a place like, I'm slowly going into depression because my body needs deep rest of the person that it's trying to create, that's creating this facade that needs to be happy all the time because I choose to see the positive. It's like, this is why I say the negative serves a purpose. And it was like, I needed to see that for me to come back so I can be real again. It's like, I can still be that positive person, but I need to be that person in the storm to be like, just like the Christ consciousness, to be in the storm, be in the suffering and say, peace, be still. Like I was saying, talking to you guys about that the other day, about how Buddha and Christ, they stand on the axis of like the same plane, but Christ sees it as peace, be still, go through the suffering and endure it and transform. When Buddha is like, oh no, take a step back, watch the storm go by and let go. It's all a matter of like, which side are you choosing? But then also, are we now taking both sides and blending them? And I think that's where I am in my life, where it's like, I was this positive guy that was all this other thing. But then I was like, no, now I'm enduring the suffering. And then, but I'm also choosing to let go. And then now I'm picking the bottle, picking to see what works for me. And I'm like, perception. What's my perception? Because everyone's going to be talking shit about you when you're doing good. Like, people have talked shit about me when I was doing great, when I was doing good, and I was doing this and that. And then when I'm doing bad, then they're like, then they still talk. I'm like, do you tell me? He's like, people are going to talk.
Yeah, this shit's hard. I'm with that,
First you love me, then you hate me, so I find a way to stay in between. Maybe you'll see me for real. I ain't trying to be nobody but me, and it's not what you see to believe. With some faith you have your way. I'm over here, you over there, I'm willing to, so let's be clear. I could not deny loving you over again, loving you over again. Do you want me or do you need me? Tell me which one. They say you play for games, so I'ma tell you about me. Loyalty, so don't fuck with me. I could not deny loving you over again. after night.